The night was heavy with the hum of Atlanta's streets, a city alive even in the small hours. Somewhere in a dimly lit warehouse district, Officer Mike Thompson, a seasoned cop with a knack for sniffing out trouble, was on duty. The radio crackled with static as he listened to his partner, Officer Jake Reynolds, bantering about the latest case. "I'm just enjoying the beat of this city," Jake said, his voice light but tinged with the weariness of a long shift. "We'll wrap this up tonight, don't worry. We'll record everything nice and slow." Mike glanced out at the shadowy parking lot. "Go check who's in that truck over there," he ordered, his tone sharp. Something about the late-night delivery didn't sit right. Jake sauntered over, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. "Where's this truck headed at this hour?" he called out to the driver, a man with a nervous edge. "Off to the chip factory down the road, huh?" "Just potatoes, nothing else." The driver, sweating despite the cool Georgia night, nodded. "Yeah, just potatoes. Check the back if you want, officer." Jake signaled to another officer, Tom Carter, to inspect the truck's cargo. "Let's make sure it's just spuds," he said, his voice carrying a hint of suspicion. "This shipment's already late, so what's the rush? You smuggling bombs or something?" The driver bristled. "Getting a bit too clever, huh? It's potatoes, I swear. You want to check? Go ahead." Mike stepped forward, his eyes narrowing. "We'll decide what's in there. Open it up." Tom climbed into the truck's cargo hold, rifling through sacks. "Just potatoes, boss," he called out, but his voice wavered. Mike wasn't convinced. "What about our shipment, Jake? Prices are through the roof these days. Potatoes at $30 a sack. In this economy, we've all got mouths to feed." Jake chuckled darkly. "Yeah, inflation's killing us. Our wallets are coughing up dust." He waved the driver off. "All right, get moving. Let him go." As the truck rumbled away, Jake muttered, "Help him out, Tom. Don't just stand there." But something felt off. The truck's back door wasn't fully latched, and as it turned a corner, something heavy thudded onto the pavement. The officers froze. "Control room, come in." Mike barked into his radio. Two suspects in a truck were transporting a woman's body. "They attacked us when we tried to apprehend them. We need backup now. I repeat, backup." Meanwhile, in a quiet Atlanta suburb, Emily Sanders sat across from her husband, David, in their cramped apartment. The air was thick with tension, the kind that had been building for months. Emily's voice trembled as she spoke. "I thought you'd moved in with your parents for good," she said, her eyes searching his for answers. David's jaw tightened. "You'd love that, wouldn't you? So you can marry the girl your mom picked out. If that's what you wanted, why'd you elope with me in the first place?" Emily's hands clenched into fists. "Don't turn this around. If you're done with me, just say it. Why'd we even get married if you were just going to run back to your family?" David sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I tried, Emily. I tried to make my family accept you, but they won't. And I can't live without them forever. Maybe you should go back to your parents. I'll go to mine." Problem solved. Emily's eyes welled up. "A year into our marriage, and you're saying your family won't accept me? If that's how it is, why'd you marry me? Why'd you let me believe in us?" David's voice softened, but it carried a bitter edge. "What are you saying? That this is my fault? If I'm such a bad guy, why don't you just leave?" "Where would I go, David? Back to my dad's? Or nowhere at all?" Emily's voice broke. "They say a woman looks for her father in her husband. Maybe I looked for too much in you." The room fell silent, the weight of their words hanging like a storm cloud. At a downtown Atlanta fertility clinic, Dr. Rachel Patel sat across from David and Emily, her expression somber as she reviewed their test results. "The report suggests that your sperm motility is low, David and Emily. Your uterus creates a hostile environment for conception. In simpler terms, natural conception isn't likely for you two." David stared at the floor, his face unreadable. Emily's eyes darted to him, then back to the doctor. "What are we supposed to accept here?" she asked, her voice sharp. Dr. Patel leaned forward. "You have two options, IVF or adoption. The sooner you come to terms with this, the easier it'll be to decide your next steps." David's voice was low, almost a growl. "This had to happen, didn't it? Your focus is always on your job, Emily. Always running off to solve crimes." Emily's eyes flashed with anger. "It's my job, David. You think I enjoy leaving you? And don't act like this is just my fault. The doctor said we both have issues." "Issue?" David snapped. "You're the issue in my life, Emily. A constant roadblock." Dr. Patel raised a hand. "This isn't couples therapy. Please, let's focus." Emily's voice cracked. "I've been home for 6 months, David. Isn't that enough? Or do you want me to quit my job entirely?" David stood, his chair scraping against the floor. "Enough with the drama. Let's go." "I'm not going anywhere," Emily shot back. "You're too proud to admit you'll never be a father. That's your ego talking." "My ego?" David's voice rose. "You're the one creating a hostile environment, Emily. That's what this is." Back at the precinct, Emily's old partner, Officer Ryan Mitchell, was adjusting to life after a 6-month suspension. He'd gotten too emotionally involved in his last case, and it had cost him. Now, his old friend and new boss, Captain Nathan Brooks, was laying down the law. "Ryan, your old cases have been reassigned to a new officer on the 3rd floor, Nathan said, his tone clipped. "Some lady cop. Don't ask me who made the call. It wasn't worth consulting you." Ryan's fists clenched. "You reassign my cases without asking? Who's running this department, Nathan?" Nathan's eyes narrowed. "I don't need to justify my decisions to you. You got too deep in that last case, and it landed you in hot water. You're lucky to be back. Now, I need you to be a team player. Take on new cases, and while we're in this building, you call me Captain or Sir. Clear?" "Yes, sir," Ryan muttered, his jaw tight. "Good," Nathan said. "We've got a new case." In a sting operation near the Atlanta-Dallas highway, our constables spotted 2 men transporting a woman's body in a truck. Crossfire left 3 of our guys injured. Head Constable Steve Rogers is waiting in the conference room. "Take Officer Chris Evans with you and find that missing body." Ryan nodded, his mind already racing. "I'll do my best, sir." At the crime scene, Steve Rogers, a weathered head constable with a bandaged shoulder, greeted Ryan. "Good to see you, man. You deserve a medal for coming back after that mess." Ryan smirked. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What happened with that truck?" Steve scratched his head. "We checked it, found potato sacks. I figured it was just potatoes, so we let it go. Lucky thing Constable Tom Carter didn't secure the back door properly, or we'd never have seen the body fall out." Ryan's eyes narrowed. "You saw the suspects? What did they look like?" Steve hesitated. "It was dark, man. Couldn't make out their faces. But we took $1,000 from them to let it slide. Thought it was just a late-night delivery." Ryan's voice hardened. "So, at 3 a.m., you let a suspicious truck go for a bribe, and now we've got a dead woman on our hands? Nice work, Steve. You're a real hero." Steve winced. "My bad, sir. They said they were headed to a chip factory nearby. I didn't think much of it." Ryan turned to Chris. "Get the CCTV footage from the toll booth. Let's see if that truck made it to the factory." At the chip factory, the manager, a wiry man named Greg Wilson, was cooperative but cagey. "No trucks stolen from here," he said, wiping his brow. "Sometimes workers borrow them and bring them back the next day. Could have been one of those." Ryan held up photos of the suspects. "Recognize these guys?" Greg squinted. "Nope. None of our workers. If that truck's ours, it was stolen." "Check your CCTV," Ryan ordered. The footage confirmed it. A white pickup truck matching the description had left the factory that night. The license plate was clear, but the driver's face was obscured. "Track that plate," Ryan told Chris. "Find that truck, whether it's in the city or the sticks." At a nearby diner, Chris questioned the staff, but no one had seen the truck. "If they didn't pass through here, they took another route," Ryan mused, sipping a coffee despite his usual aversion. Steve, ever the optimist, grinned. "My mom used to say coffee's an emotion. One sip and you'll find the middle path." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Middle path? You mean the bypass road off the highway?" Steve's eyes lit up. "Exactly, sir." Sure enough, at the bypass, they found the truck abandoned. Steve pointed excitedly. "That's it. And I remember something else. The woman's body had red nail polish and bangles, like a newlywed bride." Ryan knelt by the truck, spotting flower petals and red powder mixed with the potato sacks. Flowers and ceremonial powder in a potato truck? This was no random killing. This smells like a domestic case gone wrong. Maybe a wedding turned deadly, or a runaway bride hunted down. Chris nodded. "I'll dig into recent marriages in the area, see if anything matches." Back at home, Emily was grappling with her own battles. Over dinner, she turned to David. "I'm thinking of going back to teaching. It'll keep me busy, bring in some extra cash." David's eyes softened for a moment. "Might do good to focus on something else." Emily's voice hardened. "Running from problems doesn't solve them, David. You know that." He sighed. "You ever hear the story of the fire demon?" Emily frowned. "What?" "When I was teaching," Emily said, "I used to tell the kids about the fire demon, a monster who wanted the power of the gods. He meditated for years, and eventually, the god of destruction appeared before him. The demon asked for a boon. Anyone he touched would turn to ash. The god granted it, and the demon went wild, burning everyone he touched. His arrogance grew until he decided to test his power on the god himself. The god of wisdom, disguised as a dancer, tricked the demon into touching his own head, and he burned to ashes." David blinked. "What's the point?" "The point," Emily said, "is that the demon was destroyed by his own pride. And that demon lives in all of us." The investigation took a grim turn when another body was found near a well in South Atlanta. 2-day laborers had stumbled across it while stopping for water. "She's bloated, been dead a while," Steve reported. "Same MO, red nail polish, bangles." Forensic tests show a heavy dose of medicinal anesthetic. And here's the kicker. Her uterus was removed with surgical precision. Ryan's stomach churned. A medical expert did this? We're not dealing with a random killer. The plot where the body was found belonged to a local developer, Mark Johnson. When questioned, Mark was evasive. "It's just a plot of land," he said, shrugging. "I've got a security guard, but he probably stepped out for a smoke. Someone must have dumped the body there." Ryan held up a photo of the victim. "Ever seen her? Any tattoos?" Mark shook his head. "Nope. Look, I'm a family man. I don't mess with this stuff. But if you're in the market for a plot, I can give you a discount." "A gift for your wife, maybe?" Ryan smirked. "My wife's not into plots. She's into kids." The case led Ryan to Atlanta's red light district, where the victim was identified as Sarah, a call girl. Her friend, Lisa, tearfully confirmed it. "I saw her 6 days ago with Bobby, her agent. He said he had a big client, paid $500 in advance. Neither of them's been seen since." Ryan showed Lisa the suspect sketches. "This Bobby." Lisa nodded. "That's him. The other guy, I don't know." "Get me Bobby's number," Ryan said. "Chris, trace his phone. Even if he's gone dark, we'll find his last location." The trail led to a seedy hotel in Shady Grove. Bobby was holed up, panicked. On a phone call, he told Lisa, "I'm in deep trouble, caught in something bad. I thought this job would set us up, but now I'm underground. Don't come here, it's too dangerous." The line went dead. Ryan and his team stormed the hotel, but Bobby was gone. "He slipped through our fingers," Ryan muttered. Sarah was a call girl. Bobby was her agent. "He killed her and vanished. We'll catch him and his accomplice. But this case feels bigger." Nathan, back at the precinct, wasn't convinced. "Close it, Ryan. You've got enough." But as Ryan left, another report came in, a second woman's body, found in South Atlanta. Same red nail polish, same bangles. "2 bodies in a week," Ryan said, his voice grim. "This isn't random. Something bigger and more dangerous is going on." The city of Atlanta held its breath, its colorful nights hiding dark secrets. In the shadows, crimes festered, and Ryan knew he was only scratching the surface of a much deeper conspiracy. The hunt was far from over.